Vishnupurana. 12 Names of the Sun. In the month of Chaitra, the sun rides his chariot as Data. During that period, Apsara Kratasthala, Sage Pulastya, Nag Vasuki, Yakshoradhmirith, Demon Heti and the Ganava Tambaru, are also present on the chariot as his assistants. In the month of Vishak, the sun rides his chariot as Ariyama, with Sage Pula, Yakshorethor, Apsara Punjasthala, Demon Prahati, Snake Kakshvia and Gandharva Narada, as his assistants. In the month of Jyeshtha, the sun is known as Mitra with Sagetri, Snake Takshak, Demon Purushya, Apsara Manaka, Gandharva Haha and Yakshorathswan as his assistants. In the month of Ashad, the sun rides his chariot as Varuna with Sage Vashishta, Snake Nag, Apsara Sahajanya, Gandharva Hu, Demon Ratha and Yakshorathachitra, as his assistants. In the month of Shravan, the sun is known as Indra, with Gandharva Vishwabasu, Yakshorstrot, Snake Alaputra, Sage Angira, Apsara Prabalika, and the demon Sapi as his assistants. In the month of Bhadrapad, the sun is known as Vivasvan, with Gandharva Ugrasena, Sage Pragu, Yakshor, Aparana, Apsara Anublika, Snake Shankpal and the demon Vigra, as his assistants. In the month of Ashwin, the sun is known as Pushor, with Gandharva Vajrachi, demon Vat, Sage Gautam, Snake Dhananjay, Yakshor Sushan and the Apsara Gratachi, as his assistants. In the month of Kartik, the sun is known as Parjanya, and is assisted by the Gandharva Vishwabasu, Sage Bharadwaj, Snake Aravat, Apsara Vishwashri, Yakshor Senjit and the demon Ap. In the month of Margshirsh, the sun is known as Anj, and is assisted by Sage Kashayapa, Yakshor Takshaya, Snake Mahapadma, Apsara Urvashi, Gandharva Chittarasan and the demon Vidyat. In the month of Posh, the sun is known as Bhaga and is assisted by Sage Kratu, Gandharva Urnayu, demon Sphara, Snake Karkatak, Yakshor Arishtmaya and Apsara Purvachati. In the month of Ma, the sun is known as Twasta with Sage Jamadani, Snake Kambal, Apsara Tilotama, demon Brahmopit, Yakshor Itajit, and Gandharva Dhritarashtra. In the month of Phagun, the sun is known as Vishnu, and is assisted by Snake Ashwatar, Apsararamba, Gandharva Suryavika, Yakshor Shetajit, Sage Vishwamitra and the demon Yajupit. Thus having some parts of Lord Vishnu's radiance, these 7 ganas stay in the sphere of the sun for 1 month alternatively. They are also the cause of seasons, like summer, winter and rain. Surya Shakti and Vaishnavi Shakti. Maitreya said, Lord, if only the 7 ganas are entrusted with the job of causing cold and summer, drought and rain, what is the purpose then of the sun's existence? Parashar said it is true that Surya is one of the 7 ganas. Yet being the chief among them, it is special significance. Omnipotent supreme power of Lord Vishnu, is nothing but the 3 Vedas. These together stay within the sun, and provide it with energy necessary to sustain the world. Their presence within the sun remains constant, irrespective of the sun's changing names, every month. In the morning, Rigveda praise the sun with its Shrutis. In the noontime, Yajurveda praise the sun, whereas in the evening, Shrutis of Samaveda pray the sun. Thus, Lord Vishnu always energizes the sun. Brahma, Vishnu and Mahesh are also present, in trinity form. Their trinity too represents the 3 Vedas. At the beginning of creation, Brahma was in the form of Rigveda. During the sustenance of the universe, Lord Vishnu stays in Yajurveda form, whereas at the end of the creation, when Pralaya occurs, Rudra takes Samaveda form. Hence the recitation of Samaveda is considered inauspicious. Energies of the Trinity stays within the sun in synergetic form. Hence the sun glows brilliantly, and destroys the darkness. Lord Vishnu, who represents energy of this Trinity, never rises nor sets. His Vaishnavi SHAKTI never parts with the sun's chariot, and stays there irrespective of the changing names of the sun, with months. Thus, the sun, which causes the formation of day and night, always satiates Pitragana, Devgana and human beings. One of the sun's rays named Shishumar nourishes the moon, during its brighter phase. Then during the darker phase, the gods drink the phases of the moon, which are in fact, ambrosia accumulated, during the brighter phase. When 2 days are left for the completion of darker phase, Pitragana drink the remaining 2 phases of the moon. Thus, the sun satiates the gods and the deceased ancestors. The water that the sun draws from earth, is returned to the earth in the form of rains. This rainfall produces cereals, which nourish the entire population on earth. Description of the 9 planets. The moon rides a chariot with 3 wheels. This chariot is hauled by 10 horses. During its entire journey, the moon passes through all the 27 nakshatras. These horses haul the moon's chariot for a complete kalpa. With his rays, the sun nourishes the moon, which loses its strength because of drinking of its ambrosia by the gods. When the gods brought even the last drop of nectar from the moon, it enters the sun's sphere. The day is known as Amavasya, moonless night. That day, the moon first enters the water, then the foliage of the trees, creepers etc., and ultimately enters the sun's sphere. That is why, anybody who cuts trees, or even plucks a leaf commits crime, equal to killing a Brahmin. On the day of Amavasya, Pitragana drink the nectar from the moon and feel sated. Thus, moon sates the gods during the brighter phase, and the Pitragana during darker phase. The moon also showers its nectar on the trees, creepers and other vegetation. It also causes exhilaration for the human beings, animals, birds and creatures like insects etc. Buddha, Mercury, is the son of the moon. His chariot is made of fire and air, and is hauled by 8 horses of deep yellow color. The chariot of Shukra, Venus, is also very splendid, and is adorned by beautiful flags. Mangal, Mars, rides a golden chariot, which is born from the fire. His chariot is hauled by 8 red horses. Brihaspati rides a golden chariot hauled by 8 yellow horses. Shani, Saturn, is famous for slow motion. He rides a chariot, which was born from the sky. The color of his chariot's horses is also very peculiar. Rahu's chariot is brown in color, and is hauled by 8 black horses. Ketu's chariot is also drawn by 8 horses, which are red in color. Chariots of all the 9 planets are tied to Dhruva. Thus, all of them traverse the same path again and again year after year. Sighting of Shishumar chakra, constellation path, in the night, destroys all the sins that a human being commits during the daytime. Water is a tangible form of Lord Vishnu. Even the earth was born out of water. Stars, all the 3 worlds, forests, vegetation, mountains, directions, rivers, sea and entire nature is the form of Lord Vishnu. This vivid nature, thus shows omnipresence character of Lord Vishnu. Life sketch of Bharata. Maitreya said, Lord, now I wish to hear various tales from the life of King Bharata. He was born in a pious land and always contemplated on God. Even then why he failed to attain salvation? What did he do in his next birth? As a Brahmin. Parashar said, King Bharata always contemplated on God. He stayed at Shilgram for a long time. There he used to recite the names of God and collect various materials for his worship. Other than that, he did not do anything. One day while he was taking bath in the river, a doe arrived at the opposite bank. She was in the final stage of pregnancy. While she was drinking water, a lion roared somewhere in the forest behind her. That roar frightened the doe, so much that she jumped across the river to save her life. Exertion of jumping resulted in premature littering of her fawn, which fell in the river. On the other hand, the doe also could not bear the pain and died. King Bharata rescued the just-born fawn and brought it to his hermitage. Since then he began to foster the fawn, with love and care. With time, Bharata's attachment grew for the fawn, and whenever it went out of sight, he would feel perplexed. Soon King Bharata deserted everything for the love of the fawn. He even left his routine worship and meditation, for it would be hard to concentrate whenever the fawn was near, and at times when the fawn was out of sight, it worried Bharata and hence he could not concentrate. But the fawn could not give up its natural instincts. When it grew up, one day, it happened to see a herd of deer and mingled with it to find a mate of its own choice, and since that day, it never returned to the hermitage. Separation from the deer proved fatal for the King Bharata. While dying, his mind was fully concentrated on the thoughts of the deer, which he had fostered with love and care. Because of it, Bharata took his next birth as a deer. But still he remembered his past life. So he deserted his herd and found a place in Shilgram, where he passed his time eating dry grass and foliage. In his next birth, Bharata was born in a cultured Brahmin family. In this birth also, he remembered his past lives. Since birth, Bharata knew all the rituals and scriptures, and saw his soul in a transcendental way. Hence, even after his thread ceremony, he did not take up his education. Even the teachers failed to incite his interest in education. Bharata roamed here and there, clad in rags, and was hence insulted by fellow Brahmins and village folk. Thus Bharata remained indifferent to the others' treatment, and sustained himself on whatever little he got to eat. After the demise of his father, his brothers made him work hard in the fields but gave little to eat. Because of his inertness, he was known as Jadabharatha. One night, when Jadabharatha was guarding his fields, the king's commander-in-chief, Vrishatraj, caught him and took him away. The king wanted to sacrifice him before goddess Mahakali. But seeing the supreme yogi being brought as a votive animal, goddess Mahakali expressed her wrath by decapitating the king and drank his blood. In another incident, later on, the king of SURYA was traveling in a palanquin to visit sage Kapila for religious preaching. Incidentally, one man fell short to carry his palanquin, so the other carriers saw and caught Jadabharatha to forcibly engage him in the work of carrying the palanquin. While walking, Jadabharatha was taking care not to put his feet on any creature. So he was moving very slowly, whereas other carriers were walking briskly. As a result of it, the palanquin was moving jerkily, causing irritation to the king. The king inquired the carriers about the reasons of the jerky motion. The carriers informed him that it was because of the new recruit who is moving very slowly. The king shouted at Jadabharatha, "You appear to be quite burly. Don't you have enough strength? Does a little work tire you?" Jadabharatha said, "O king, neither I am burly, nor carrying your palanquin. I am neither tired nor there is any need for me to labor." The king said, "Apparently you are burly, and my palanquin is also resting on your shoulder. Carrying a load always tires anybody. How are you different then from the others?" Jadabharatha said, "O king, first of all, tell me, what do you see directly? Your saying that I am carrying your palanquin is also meaningless. Now listen to what I say. Both my feet are resting on the earth. On the feet are thighs, and on the thighs is belly, on the belly are chest, shoulders and arms. Your palanquin is resting on the shoulders. What load am I carrying then? You are in the palanquin, and I am on the earth are meaningless words. All the creatures, you and me are all carried by the 5 basic elements. Even our virtues are controlled by our action. Only action is born out of ignorance. The soul is pure, non-degradable, calm, intangible and beyond all nature. This same soul pervades all the creatures. It neither grows nor decays. Why did you say then that I am burly? If this palanquin that is resting on my shoulders, chest, belly, thighs and feet, could be a burden for me, it could also be a burden for you. Like this, all the living beings are carrying not only this palanquin but all the mountains, trees, houses and even the earth. Saying this, Jadabharatha became silent, still carrying the palanquin. The king at once got down from the palanquin, and fell at Jadabharatha's feet and said, "O Brahmin! Leave this palanquin, and tell me why have you taken this guise? Who are you? What is the reason of your coming here? I am eager to know about you." Jadabharatha said, "I cannot tell what I am and for the reason why I came here. I can say only that coming and going were all done so that one can experience their result. The soul takes an incarnation only to experience the joy and sorrow, as per its deeds. Why are you then inquiring specifically about the reason for my coming here?" The king said, "The soul transmigrates from one body to another, only because of its action. I want to hear from you. Preaching regarding who am I cannot be told. O Brahmin! The soul that is eternal and experiences the results of its action is I. This mark of ego is not a cause of demerit in the soul." Jadabharatha said, "You are right, that words do not cause any demerit in the soul. But the ego expressed in the form of words is the reason for demerit in soul. When the same and single soul stays in everybody, possessive words are then meaningless. You are the king. This is the palanquin. They are the carriers and those are the subjects. O king! None of these words has any meaning. This palanquin is made of the wood received from some tree. So tell me what it should be called as a palanquin or wood. Nobody says that the king is sitting on a tree. It is because of specific construction that a heap of wood has assumed the shape of a palanquin. For the purpose of action, the same soul is identified physically as a man, a woman, a cow, a goat, a horse, an elephant, a bird or a tree. But in fact, the soul is none of them. Things like wealth, king, kingdom, king's army and all other things that you possess are not fact. They are imaginations. For the subjects, you are king. For the son, you are father. For the wife, you are husband, and the father of her children. O king! Tell me, what should I address you as? Are you different from any of these nouns? Hence, always be careful while considering who am I? O king! The soul is so arranged in different roles that it is very difficult to tell specifically its real identity. Jadabharatha preaches the king. The king said, "O Brahmin! I was going to see sage Kapila, and have the preaching regarding excellent human virtues. But now, hearing your words, I feel that I need not go any further. You are an ocean of knowledge. Kindly preach me about human virtues." Jadabharatha said, "O king! For those who worship the Lord, with a desire to receive wealth and kingdom, these things are a supreme goal. For those who want to attain heaven, action in the form of forming yajna is the goal. But the supreme virtue is to act in a selfless way, without having a desire for results. A yogi must contemplate on that transcendental soul, because it is the only means to merge with that supreme soul. If the wealth is the goal while it is spent in religious activities, if the son is the goal, the father too might have been a goal for someone. Thus, there is no supreme goal because everything exists for a time then ceases to exist. Hence the assumption of any physical thing as a supreme goal is meaningless. And consideration of soul, separate from supreme soul, is also futile. The soul is one, all-pervasive, impartial, pure, intangible and transcendental. It is free from the cycles of birth and death. It can neither be created, nor be destroyed. It is supremely omniscient. Its manifestation in different life forms is temporary and identification of soul with living beings is baseless. Soul which is present in scores of living beings, is basically single and same. Once one comes to know this, he doesn't remain in darkness. The veil of ignorance then parts with him,